Hello everyone, welcome to Data Vidhyalaya. I am Suresh Reddy Nasi. So in the last video, we have seen what is a data type and what is a numerical data type. In that we have discussed about the integer data type, float data type, as well as the complex data type, and how we can convert from one data type to another data type within the numerical one we have seen in the last session. So before getting into the string data type, like first, whoever is new to this particular Data Vidhyalaya channel, please like to this channel, comment if you have any queries and wanted some information regarding that particular concept, and share if you wanted to share it with your friends who wanted to learn the Python and all, you can share it, and please subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's get into the string data type. So today's agenda is, as I said, like we will be mostly focusing on the string data. Okay. So we when we mention about the text data type, string data type, we will be mostly focusing on the text data. Like wherever we have text information, no, we will be dealing with that particular data. So in this data type, we will be majorly focusing on the text data. So we use the data type called string. So this is the how we will be representing as the syntax for the string data type. So string curved brackets. Okay. So we can create a text information either in single quotes or double quotes. Okay. So whichever the format is within the single quote or double quotes, that the text data type will take that. Means like the text variable which we will be storing it in a string and all, no, we will be taking that. Okay. So for example, here we are creating a string variable a, and we are assigning a string data of value high. Whereas here we are making the string variable as b, and the text data we are adding it here is that hello, how are you? So that's how we can print them. So this is the just we are assigning the text data to a variable a or b, whatever the variable we will define. We can assign it in this way. And the one thing is that we can represent the text data either in single quote or in double quotes. Okay. Hi, hello, how are you? Okay. If we execute this particular code, yeah, it prints hi, hello, how are you? Okay. So this is one way of representing that. For example, if you are giving a text data within a single quotes or double quotes and all, and we are assigning a value to assigning it to a variable, it will automatically in the background in the interpreter, it will assume it as a string data, assigning it to a string variable. So that variable, whichever the string data is assigned, no, it will be automatically assigned as a string data type variable. Okay. So instead, if you wanted to describe that, means like if you wanted to define that by using a syntax, we can use it in this way also. A is equal to string of hi. So here we are directly assigning that from our end, like from the user perspective, like string of hi. Okay. So that's how we can assign the string value to a string variable. Yeah, yeah, is it? So this is the two ways. Like one is we can directly assign it where the interpreter will automatically understand that, and this is that we need to understand it by giving that string syntax to that. Okay. So what if we wanted to assign instead of single lines, no, if you wanted to assign it to multiple lines, like text where we have 100 lines of data or 150 pages of data. So we can give it within the three double quotes in the starting and the ending, and whatever the data you can add it in the multiple lines. Okay. So here, if you wanted to assign the string of multiple lines like text and all, no, we need to mention the three quotes. So three double quotes we have, no. So that's how we need to assign if you are assigning the multiple lines of the text data. Okay. So here for a variable, we are assigning the multiple lines of data. Okay, and that's how we can assign a text data with the multiple lines. So now, if see, this is how we will be assigning it to a string variable. Like whatever the text data is there, now we will be assigning it to a string variable. What if we wanted to perform the operations on that? Operations in the sense like we wanted to identify a particular word in the text, or else we wanted to slice that, and we wanted to identify the length of the text, and we wanted to identify the I mean the special characters and numerical digits in that text and all. No, so to perform all these operations, no, so we have set of syntaxes that we wanted to learn, in which we call them as a string operations. Like whatever the actions that we are performing on the string, no, that we call it as a string operations. Okay. So here in Python strings, the array of bytes represent the Unicode. It doesn't have the string character data type. Simply with the length of one, and a single character is simply a string with a length of one. The detailed example. So for example, you are assigning a variable a with the text data of hello. Okay. So the when we split that data into that string, okay, into that string, and when we assign the indexes to it, okay, so it assigns it like this. So every index, every value, its index starts with 0. That's the unique formula you need to remember. Okay, where we will see the list and dictionary and all, which we will be understanding the tuple set and all, no, which we will be coming through and all. So every alignment will be starting with an index of 0. Okay. So, for example, if we split the hello and all, no, when we store it within the square brackets, which we call it as a list, so it will start with H E L L O. So here 0 is assigned with H, 1 index is assigned with E, 2 index is assigned with L, whereas 3 is also assigned with L, and 4 is assigned with 0. Here, the one thing we need to remember is that index will be unique, whereas text, I mean the data assigned to that particular index will be duplicate also. Okay, so the index will be unique. Okay. So yeah, we'll see one operation line by line. Okay, we'll see the length of it, and we'll see the slicing of it and all. We see that how we can split the text and all those things. We'll see that in the string operations. The first operation is that if you wanted to see the length of that particular text, for example, we are assigning D value, text value, to a variable. Okay, print a and print length of a. So for example, if you wanted to print that a value, it is D, and it is the length of is like 1. So how much is the length and all? 1. See, length index starting with 0 and all, but count is like total number of values in it. Okay, length is nothing but the total number of values in it. Okay, so here a is equal to hello, the previous example, like how the values is assigned. Okay, see, a, this is how we need to add the index to it. Okay, so print a is that a of 0 will represents the 0 index value, which is h. That's how we see, no, in the above. And e is like 1, 2 l, 3 l, and so that's how it assigns that in the background. Okay, so to find the length of the string, we use the length function. Like as I said, like print length of a. For hello, it is like 5 length. Okay. If you wanted to loop that particular string and all. Okay. For z in a, like will come to the particular concept of for loop and all in the next session, next videos. So first, like if you wanted to loop it each character in that particular string and all, no, this is how we can using the for loop. So for z is like the value, means like each value in a, which is like h e l l o, and we are printing that particular value in that. Okay, yeah, we'll understand that in the more in the looping and all. But this is how we can iterate between the characters in a string. Okay. So to, as I said earlier, no, to identify that whether the particular text, I mean the keyword or the engram, which we call it as gram tokens, keyword and all, no, which we'll be learning this terminology when you enter into the NLP. But if you wanted to identify a particular keyword or the word in that particular text and all, no, so we use some certain operations. Okay, for example, we will go through each one by example. Okay, so for example, string one is assigned with the data is the new I. Okay, this is the this is the text assigned to a variable called string one. Okay, as it is not multi-line, we are just use it with this double quotes. We can use it as a single quotes as well. Okay, so we wanted to identify the word called old, whether old is available in the text or not, in this text or not. But as of now, when we are saying that old is not available in the text, so for that we are using the conditional statement, if else statement. Okay, where like if such a text means like such text is nothing but old in this text, like data is the new oil, then print yes, it is present, else no, it is not present. Here the such text is nothing but the old. Okay, see, we'll see how it works. Yeah. See, obviously it is not there. No, it represents the else condition. No, old is not present. For example, old, old and new oil. See, yes, old is present. So as old I have added, no. So that's how it takes like this particular search word is the available in that particular string one, and that's how it presents like yes, old is present. Okay. To check if the certain phrase or character is not present, we can use the keyword not in. So here we use the keyword as in. Okay, whether that is available in it or not. The same way, whether it is not available in it or not, also we can use using that not in keyword. Okay, so that's the same thing only. Like whether it is available within that or not present and all. Just identifying that if it is in or not in. That's the thing. Yeah, we have seen that whether the particular keyword is available in that, and we have seen the length of it. And now I just said like we will slice that. Slice is nothing but we can divide, or we can take the piece of that particular string or not. So that's how we can do that. So for example, here we are assigning the text data of Data Vidhyalaya to a variable called B, which is a string variable. So here 2 is the start index and 5 is the end index. So as I said, no, data is like D will be 0, A will be 1 index value, T will be the 2 index value, A will be the 3 index value. Here space is there now. That is also it is considered as a one of the index value. Okay, and B also one index value. I mean like it is like 6 index value, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 index value. That's how it takes like, okay, I is 6, D7, H8 like that and all. Okay. See, I will show you that how here we have seen, no, like how it is splits and all. Okay. Print A of 0, A of 5 and all. For example, if we see that print of that B of 4, print of E of 1, 2, 3, 4. See, when we print the 4, no, like it will show the blank and all, which is also considered as a split in that. Okay. See, here blank it is coming. Here blank it is coming, no. So this is also the space also we will be assigning it to a index value. Okay. Yeah. Now what is that 2 to, if you wanted to slice it between the index of 2 to 5 is to 2 is to 5 means like 2 to 5 index value. So what is 2? 0 is D, A is 1, T is 2. So that's why we started with T, and 3 is 3 is A, 4 is space. Space anyways we will be taking. If you take this particular word, no, it includes the space also. See, when I click that particular word, no, it includes the space also. After A, we have one space also. So this slicing is like here 2 is the start index, 5 is the end index, which is not included. The 5 index, no, which is at the last 2 is to 5, no. This 5 will not be included within the 2 is to 5. Okay, that's the syntax slicing and all. We will be getting more when we enter into the list and dictionary set tuple and then numpy arrays. There is one library called numpy where you will see that more number of these things, how we will be splicing and all, what is the end index and all. That's why that's why you need to be careful, like whenever you are indexing, no, it starts with 0. Okay, 0 1 2 3 and all, and how it is splitting and all. Here whenever you are doing slicing, no, it will take the start index and it will take the end index, but end index value will not be populated when we are showcasing that slicing. Okay, when we are pulling for slicing. Okay, so whenever if the start index is not given, like 2 is not given, it counts from the start. For example, here 2 we are not giving. Okay, it starts with the 0, 0 1 2 3 and all. When you select that, it includes the space also. Why? Because Data Vidhyalaya has space between the data and Vidhyalaya. Okay, if the last index is not given, it counts till the end. The same way, wherever the start index is not given, it starts with the starting value, whereas end index, it starts with the end value. If end value is not given, it takes the entire value from the starting index. So, when it is starting with 5, 5 index is included, means like starting value is always included, ending value is always excluded. Okay. Here see, Vidhyalaya. So it starts with fifth, no, fifth is nothing but the B. It starts with C. It gives the complete word. Okay. So that's how we can slice that. Yeah, whenever you are practicing, no, whenever you are entering into the natural language processing, or whenever you are entering into the particular use case, no, where it involves the text data and all, no. So that's how this string data type is more useful. Okay, so that helps you to perform this all operations whichever is required aligned to that particular user story or use case. Okay. So user case or user stories, like whenever it's an what we call that it's a task that you need to implement in the real business scenario. Okay, that's the meaning of it. Yeah, Python has a set of built-in methods that we apply the string under. So these there are some particular operations like which are in built-in, like where it comes with the string data type. Okay, we'll see that. Yeah, this is upper, lower, and so for example, Data Vidhyalaya is lower. All the D and V only is the upper, remaining all are in lower case. Okay, we can convert this by using a dot upper. Okay, a dot upper curved brackets as the function. So we can convert that into a uppercase. The same way we can convert D and V as lowercase also, like this. D and V has become lowercase and all. Here we can strip that. For example, if we are adding the spaces here in the right hand side and left hand side. Okay, here 5 spaces has been added in the ending end of that particular text. Here 3 spaces has been added in the front and all. We can strip that. This is that a dot strip is like if you wanted to remove the white spaces at the ending and starting. No, this is very important, like when you are using the data cleaning process. So a dot strip and all, like we can remove the end spaces. That's how we can do, and see that it will give only the text. It will not give the end spaces like in the before and the end. Okay, and this if you wanted to replace a particular character, okay, particular things character within the text and all, or else if we wanted to replace the word also, we can do that. We'll see in the next scene. Okay, this is like if you wanted to replace the character, we can do that. A dot replace of a means like a is the value with respect to b. So a what you wanted to replace, no, that will be, you need to add in the starting. with what value you need to replace, that you need to add in the ending. Okay, so a dot replace a comma b. For example, here it is confusing. Like we'll replace d with the z. Okay. So how many d's are there? Like first is the d, second is the another d. Okay, we'll see how it works. See, if you see here, only small d has been replaced with z, whereas capital D is not replaced with the z. So here why? Because we are clearly mentioning the type of the, whether it is small case or uppercase. No, no. We need to be very sensitive when you are defining. Okay. So we need to be very peculiar, like what is the exact value. For example, now if we add that d no with the capital and all, no, you see it will replace with the z. See, that's a, so it's a case sensitive, like wherever you wanted to replace, no, that thing only it will replace. Okay, so this is how with respect to the character replacing. This is how with respect to the word replacing, as I said. So the data with beta. And yeah, this is one thing, like we wanted to split that. So if you wanted to split that into a words, like if you wanted to split the uh, particular string into a words, no, that you can use using the split and all. Not only splitting the words, you can split the uh, text into token, text into character, particular word into characters, text into words, okay, text into phrases. So those and all you can perform. Okay, based on the spaces we need to do that. So for example, if we split the data Vidhyalaya, you can split is like data as one value and Vidyalaya as another value. Okay, yeah, split method splits the string into substrings if it's find instance for a separator. So here the separator is the space value. Okay, whereas you can split it with data Vidyalaya substrate. Okay. See how it works. See. So here the based on the comma, no, I split it like data, Vidyalaya and subscript as a three things. Okay. Data, comma, Vidyalaya, comma, subscript. We can use this as a that's how, based on the delimiter we can split using a split method. Okay. Here dot split of the particular. And the next thing is that we have seen that how we can split the text data. Like if you have a group of words, okay, where you wanted to concatenate that, okay, where you wanted to concatenate means like you wanted to make it as a single text and all. You can use that combining strings. We can do this using the plus operator, a plus b plus and all, where it comes without spaces and all. If you wanted to add, you can add the spaces and all. Okay, so this is somewhat manual method. Like we have seen the split method, no, that's somewhat like we can just give it with one single function and all, no, a dot split or string variable dot split and all, no, with the curved brackets. And within that, what is the delimitation split and all. Whereas this is like somewhat widespread. It's a manual process where you need to keep on adding that and with the double quotes and all. Where you can automate this by using that for loop and all, whatever you wanted to go through between the for loop, we can do that. Okay, and f string is newly introduced, like where we can put an f in front of f in front of a string letter. Yeah, this is not newly introduced, like it is been within the usage, I think, like from the last 1 or 2 years, like where we can add the f in the starting, and whichever one variable you wanted to add that in the add that within the text, no, you can add that within the text, and you can curly brackets, like if you define that within the curly brackets, it will add that value and showcase that in that text. Okay, so Sachin has recorded around 90 runs. So here around 90 runs, 9 runs has been copied from this particular runs value, and it is placed it here in the last one. So in order to fill that particular sentence with that particular value, adding it in the middle, which will be populated from another variable now, you can add that in here. So that's how we are going through this particular string data type. So what are the things that we have learned is that how to define a string variable, how we can assign the text data to a string variable, and how we can add that string text data by using a string data type. Okay, I mean like a string syntax. Okay, and then we entered into the operations, like what is the length of that string, and how we can slice that particular string, and what is that looping index value assigned to that particular string, how we can loop that using for loop, and how to identify a particular keyword or the uh, word available within that string or not, within the text data or not. So that is one thing we have seen. And the last thing we have seen is that how we can split that, and how we can concatenate that, and how we can assign that in the string, like value within the strings and all. So these are the things that we have learned within this video. Okay, and coming to the next thing is that until and unless if you practice now, you cannot get that full knowledge, like how it is working and all. Okay, so please keep on practicing it. Okay, and if you have any doubts now, like you can please comment it in the channel.